Mjolnir, the Crusher, forged in the heart of a dying star. Wait, wrong story. Forged in the blazing heart of a dwarven forge, this Mjolnir is the real deal. The legendary hammer of Thor, the Norse god of thunder. Just hearing its name conjures images of lightning, earth-shattering blows, and the utter terror of giants. It's said Mjolnir always hits its mark and returns to its thrower's hand, a weapon of unimaginable power, synonymous with Thor himself. But here's the question that echoes through the 9 realms. Is Thor truly the only one capable of lifting it? Could anyone else actually wield the mighty Mjolnir? Forget what you've seen in movies for a second. We're diving deep into the original myths. The story starts not with worthiness, but with chaos, cunning, and a very bad bet. Loki, the trickster god, ever bored and mischievous, cut off the beautiful golden hair of Sif, Thor's wife. Thor, understandably furious, threatened Loki with utter annihilation unless he replaced it. To save his own skin, Loki went to the dwarves, master craftsmen beneath the earth. He first commissioned the sons of Ivaldi. They crafted not only new golden hair for Sif, but also Skidbladnir, a ship that could be folded into a pocket, and Gungnir, Odin's unstoppable spear. But Loki, being Loki, couldn't resist stirring the pot further. He bragged to 2 other dwarf brothers, Brokkr and Sindri, that they couldn't possibly match the skill of the sons of Ivaldi. He even wagered his own head on it. Pride stung, Brokkr and Sindri accepted the challenge. As Sindri worked the forge, Brokkr pumped the bellows, a crucial task requiring non-stop effort. Loki, desperate to win his bet and keep his head, transformed into a fly. He bit Brokkr relentlessly. Brokkr endured bites on his hand and neck while crafting Gullinbursti, a golden boar, and Draupnir, Odin's ring that multiplies itself. But for the final treasure, Mjolnir, Loki bit Brokkr squarely on the eyelid. Blinded by blood for just a moment, Brokkr faltered. He stopped pumping. That tiny interruption had a huge consequence. Mjolnir's handle was forged too short. Despite the flaw, the gods judged Brokkr and Sindri's treasures superior. Mjolnir, gifted to Thor, was deemed the greatest prize, an unbeatable weapon to protect Asgard from the giants. Loki naturally weaseled his way out of losing his head, but the short handle remained. This wasn't just a cosmetic defect. It made the immensely powerful, perfectly balanced hammer incredibly difficult to wield. So, how does Thor manage? He doesn't just rely on brute strength alone. He possesses 3 key items. Mjolnir itself, obviously, but also Járngreipr, a pair of special iron gloves that allow him to firmly grip the short handle and handle the hammer's raw power. And crucially, Megingjörð, his belt of strength, which is said to double his already immense godly might. Without the gloves and the belt, even Thor might struggle to control his iconic weapon. This tells us something vital. Wielding Mjolnir in the myths isn't just about being worthy. It's about having the specific tools and, more importantly, the colossal strength required. So, who could possibly match Thor's divine power, amplified by Megingjörð? The myths give us one very compelling candidate, Thor's own son, Magni. The tale unfolds after one of Thor's fiercest battles. He fought Hrungnir, the strongest of the giants, in a monumental duel. Thor shattered Hrungnir's stone weapon with Mjolnir and then struck the giant down. But as Hrungnir fell, his massive corpse landed on top of Thor, trapping him. The giant's leg pinned the god of thunder, and none of the assembled Aesir gods, not Odin, not Tyr, none of them had the strength to lift it. The situation was dire. The protector of Asgard was immobilized. Then hope arrived in an unexpected form. Magni, Thor's son by the giantess Járngreipr, was only 3 nights old. Yet this infant strode forward and effortlessly tossed the giant's leg aside, freeing his father. Magni declared, "It was a shame I arrived so late, father. I reckon I could have felled this giant with my bare fists." Thor, filled with pride and relief, gifted Magni the giant Hrungnir's swift horse, Gulfaxi. Some accounts even suggest Thor remarked that Magni would have deserved Mjolnir itself had he been there sooner, or perhaps older. This incident doesn't just show Magni's unbelievable inherent strength, surpassing all other gods present. It also directly links him to the hammer itself. This connection is made through his father's potential words. Speaking of strength and incredible feats, if you're finding this dive into Norse mythology powerful, show some support and crush that like button. And hey, who do you think has the muscle or the metal to lift Mjolnir based on the myths? Drop your strongest candidate in the comments below. Maybe suggest another myth you'd like us to explore. Now, back to the contenders. So Magni is the prime candidate based on raw power demonstrated within the myths. What about others? Odin, the Allfather, is wise and powerful, a master of magic. He bestowed enchantments on Mjolnir. But could he lift it? There's no story showing him doing so. Mjolnir is Thor's weapon, intrinsically tied to him and his role. Odin wields Gungnir, his spear. Could another god like Tyr, the brave god of war who sacrificed his hand to bind Fenrir, lift it? Or Vidar, another son of Odin, known for his strength and destined to avenge his father at Ragnarök? They possess divine might and courage, certainly. But the myths never suggest they could wield Mjolnir. The hammer requires not just general godly power, but Thor-level strength. It's the kind amplified by Megingjörð, the kind needed to handle its specific flaw, the kind Magni demonstrably possesses. The modern idea of a worthiness enchantment, that only someone morally pure or noble can lift the hammer, is largely an invention of later comics. It also appeared in other media. In the original Norse texts, the primary qualifications seem to be immense physical strength and divine connection, specifically to Thor's lineage. Another qualification was having the right accessories like the iron gloves. Mjolnir was made for Thor, flawed handle and all. It answers to his strength and his purpose. But the story doesn't end there. The myths look beyond the present, into the twilight of the gods, Ragnarök. Prophecies, like those in the poems Völuspá and Vafthrudnismal, tell of the world's end and its rebirth. During the final battle, Thor is destined to kill the monstrous world serpent, Jörmungandr, but he will then succumb to its venom. He will take only 9 steps before falling. It's a catastrophic event where many gods perish, yet life finds a way. The prophecies state that after the fire and the flood, a new world will emerge. And who survives this apocalypse to inherit the legacy of the fallen thunder god? Thor's sons, Magni, the powerhouse we've already met, and his brother Modi, whose name means courage or wrath. The texts explicitly state that Magni and Modi will inherit Mjolnir after Thor's death. They will carry it into the new world. This future inheritance is the most definitive proof. It confirms that yes, someone besides Thor can wield Mjolnir, his own sons, destined by prophecy to carry his might forward after the end.